Welcome again, dear students. In this lesson we are going to explain the animate symbols. What are they? How to create them? What is the difference between each one of them? So first of all, I created a file and I'm going to create 3 layers. One layer is going to hold the movie clip. The other one is going to hold the graphic, and the third one is going to hold the button. So from the layer names, you have notice that you have 3 symbols. We have a movie clip symbol, graphic symbol, and button symbol. I'm going to start by creating a circle in each layer. Simple circle, just like this. I will duplicate this. Control C. I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to paste it here again. Okay, and now I'm going to select them all and go to the align, distribute them, align them. So for the first one, I'm going to select blue color, and for the second one I'm going to select red color, and for the third one I'm going to select green color. Okay, or anything else you want. I'm going to select them all, go to the properties, go to the stroke, and make sure I have no stroke. I don't need a stroke right now. So first step, how to create a movie clip. You have several ways or different methods to create a movie clip, and I'm going to show you them all. Now I'm going to select this. When you click the layer, all its content is going to be selected, which in this case only the circle. You can convert your drawing into a symbol from here. Modify menu, convert to symbol, and then you select the type. You give the object a name, like I'm going to call it ball MC. The registration point, it is on the left top corner. You can change this later if you want. You can change it later if you want. I'm going to press OK. So now this is an object, not a drawing object, it's a symbol. How do you know that? When you go to the library, you see that you have a movie clip symbol here. I'm going to click this again. The third or the second method is from the properties panel. You go to the object tab, you click this icon, convert to symbol. This time I'm going to convert it to a graphic. I'm going to name it ball_gr. I'm adding suffix just to for me to easily identify my objects in the library, especially when you have too many objects there. Okay. The third one, I'm going to use the method that I prefer personally, which is using the shortcut. You press F8 and you directly select the symbol type, and then you give it a name. Also, it's going to ball PTN. Now we have 3 objects, as you can see from the library: button, graphic, and a movie clip. So now what is the difference? How each symbol is different from the other one. We're going to start with the movie clip. So the first two, the movie clip and the graphics, are or can be used to create animations, more complex animations, or nested animation. What do you mean by this? When you double click a movie clip or a graphic to go inside the symbol, you see it has its own timeline. This is the movie clip and this is the graphic, which means you can create an animation inside the symbol rather than the animation you create in the main timeline. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so both of them can be used to create animations. However, button cannot be used to create animations. When you double click it, you see you don't have a timeline. You have a distinct 4 states, which is the up, over, button, hit, which is similar to the CSS states that we used to use in web development courses. So I'm going to go back to the scene again. So I'm going to go to the property, so you see the difference between each one of them. Starting with the movie clip, we have an instance name here, which means you can add interactivity to it. You can control it by coding, by action script. When you have an instance name, it means you can control it, or in other words, it supports interactivity. It supports color effects, blending modes, similar to blending modes we learned in Photoshop, and it also supports filters. So as a total, it supports interactivity, animation, color effects, blending modes, and filters. What about the graphic? Graphic, it supports animation. It does not support interactivity because, as you can see here, there is no way we can add an instance name. It supports color effects, but not blending modes and not filters. Button is like movie clip. It supports interactivity for sure because it's a button. It supports color effects, blending modes, and filters, but it does not support animation. So these are the differences between them. So now, if movie clip, and graphics are both of them supports animation. So what's the difference between each animation? The graphic animation that you create inside the symbol itself, it's going to be synchronized with the main timeline. We're going to see what do I mean by that. But with the movie clip, the animation that you create inside is not synchronized with the main timeline. So if you are looking for synchronized animation with the main timeline, the graphic is the option that you're gonna go for. Otherwise, movie clip is gonna be better because it's more versatile, most used symbol in Animate. Okay. Now, how can I go inside or get into my symbol itself? We already showed you that you can double click to go inside, but you can see here when you double click, other symbols are fainted, which means you can see them translucent or a bit transparent, while being able to edit this symbol here. This is very useful if you want to edit or to work with your symbol while keeping others as a reference. Okay, if you go back, you have to click here. The second method to access or to go inside your symbol is you go to the library and you double click the symbol itself. This technique, as you can see here, you don't see any other. You see, I'm going to show all. You are not seeing any other symbols because it is going to only be dedicated for that symbol. So if you are willing to edit this symbol by itself with no other symbol visible, you have to double click its name from the library. Now, what's the difference between the library object and the instance name that you are seeing here? So as I said, this is an instance name and this is an object, which means this is the original and then you create copies, or we call it here instances of it. So it means I can drag as many instances as I want from my object. Now if you delete an instance, as you can see here, the object will not be affected. But on the other hand, if you delete the object itself, you see, all its instances are going to be deleted because, as I said, it's the main thing, it's the reference. If you make any edit to the object itself, like I go here and change the color to anything like pink, they are going to be all changed. Okay. Now what if I go and what if I go to the ball, click, and change it from here? As I said, it's going to be pink, but now I was trying to do this. Now I have instances. What if I double click the instance and change the color to anything else? You see, they are all going to be affected. So with instance, when you change any of the instances, all of them will be affected, including the original one. Why? Because basically here you are not changing the instance, you are just changing the main object. So what if I want other circles, not blue, like buttons? When you create a button for different scenarios, you have to duplicate the object yourself from here. You go duplicate, you're gonna have red ball, green ball, so on. Okay, so I will double click, I will get back to my original color, which is this blue. So I have to select first, and then I'm gonna click here, click, and delete this and delete this. Now what if you made a mistake you made a bad choice. You said, oops, I didn't want this ball to be a movie clip. I wanted it to be a graphic. So you can change its type, but remember, you can change the type of the object itself, or you can change the type of its instance, which is going to affect only this instance. So for example, I can just right click this, or there's no need to right click. You go to the properties, and from the tools, you see, or not from the tools, sorry, from this list, you just change it to a button. It's going to be converted to a button. You double click, it's still, you're going to see a timeline. You're going to wonder, why is this? Because again, as I said, you are not changing the object itself, you are changing the instance, so this is going to affect only the properties that you're going to see here. Okay, usually if you did a mistake and you want to change this to a button, you need to let me just undo first, go back to the original. I'm going to click, I'm going to go back to the movie clip. I will go to the library and then right click here, properties, and then I change it from here to a button or a graphic. This time this is going to be converted to a button. You see, double click, it's going to be a button, even though this instance is a movie clip. Now you can change this to a button, or you can just delete it if you want and add the library, but basically you don't need to do this because it's a button anyway. So let's just undo several times until we go back to our default state where it was a movie clip. Now, as we said, we can add animation to graphics and movie clip, and you're going to cover this in the next lesson. But for the button, we have other states. I'm going to press F6 here, F6 here, F6 here to show you the differences between each one of them. So the up state is this. The over state, I'm going to change its color to be a solid green, flat green, and the down, I'm going to just change its size like this. And for the head, I'm going to keep it as it is. I'm going to show you what the head does. To test the button, or to see the effect of the button symbol, we need to test movie. Control Enter. You see here, these are not buttons, but this is a button. You see, when you move over, it's going to be flat green. When you click, this is a down state, it's going to be small size. You can add anything to these states, basically. Even you can add animation. Now you're going to have a dedicated video for this later on. Now what's the head? You see, by default the head is going to take the shape of the object, but what if I want to be able to click here? If you want to make the head area as a rectangle, you have to go here and you need to draw a rectangle that covers all the head area that you want to use. In this case, the color basically is not important. The most important thing, it has a fill. Okay, so now when you click, you see here, it's going to be affected. So this is very useful if you want to create invisible link areas or hotspots. Okay. Okay, students, thank you very much. We are gonna, when we discuss animation, we are gonna show you the difference between the synchronized and asynchronized animation. Actually, the animation between movie clips and graphics. See you in the next tutorial.